So let me state one thing up front. I wasn't trying to start a cult. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Margaret, and this vlog is going to require some explanation. This is basically the story of how I single-handedly convinced all of my friends to read Little Thieves by Margaret Owen whilst reading Painted Devils, the sequel to said book. Everything that you see in this vlog is what my friends got while I was reading it. I am going to turn this vlog over to past Margaret here in a minute, but I felt like y'all probably need a little bit of explanation as to why this vlog is structured the way it is, because originally it was part of another vlog. Originally it was part of a failed vlog where I was trying to see how long it would take me to read for 24 hours, and it took me 3 weeks. However, since it was my Painted Devils reading vlog, it wasn't one I could just fully scrap. I wanted to be able to come and rewatch it. So that's how you're getting what you're getting now. Before we go into the past, I got something that I did not have when I was filming this. Actually, I just realized that I have two somethings that I did not have when I first started this vlog. So let's start with this something. Somewhere there's a pair of scissors. There they are. I have been waiting to open this, and then I forgot that I meant to open this as a part of my Painted Devils. It's so pretty. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Let go of my book. Jiminy Christmas. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Like, it's so shiny. Do you see the shiny? I'm so excited because now they're together. I have both of the Illumicrate editions. Some very kind, lovely soul, Bookish KJ, sent this to me in August. So I now have, look at how nice they look together. Oh, I wonder, is book 3 going to be yellow then maybe? The hard cover that is underneath, I absolutely love the illustrations by Margaret Owen that she has for these. And then, oh, let's take a look at what Painted Devils looks like. I love them so much. They deserve the world. You're gonna understand all of this by the time you get to the end of the vlog. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm a little unhinged. We need to take a trip to Lowe's. Oh, look at this. This is going to make 0 sense to anyone who has not read the book, but it's amazing. Okay, we gotta do this and put them together so we can see. I'm so tempted. Like, these covers are so pretty, but I also just want to put these up on my shelf just like this, too. What I need is oh, no, I don't. No, I don't, because look at that. Whose decision was that? I might cry, y'all. And you haven't watched the rest of the vlog, so you don't know why. I was not prepared for this picture. All right, I'm gonna let past Margaret take over. You guys can get the tail end of her Little Thieves reread, and then her reading this for the very first time. I will see y'all in the next vlog, and past Margaret's about to take it away. Because I have 0 self-preservation skills, I let Brianna talk me into doing a how long does it take me to read for 24 hours challenge, and so that's what we are here to be going to do. And since a little something just arrived on my doorstep today, I figured I would combine it with another vlog, but we'll get to that in a moment. You'll see. I'm very excited about what's in this box. It's like my most anticipated, what's the word? Release of the year. So I am starting out with Little Thieves. I am 198 pages into this book, and I do need to finish it in order to read this. This is the sequel. Let's go ahead and let's open this baby up. Look at it. Look at how nice it is. Oh my god, I love this book. I can't wait for these two. It's red on the inside. Where's the lamp? Oh my god, I am losing my mind. I have 30 more minutes before I have to be back over there and talk to Brianna and Cal, so I figure let us get to reading. Today we resurrect a segment that's a very beloved segment on my channel called Margaret Updates You while folding her laundry. It is Saturday, technically. Well, technically it's Sunday, because I haven't updated y'all at all today. Life happens. I kept meaning to update y'all, and then I'd be like, oh, I need to do this first, though, so let me do this first, and then we just never got around to an update. But we have updates, so let's do this. As you can see, listen to this beautiful noise. That is the sound of joy. If you have never heard of Little Thieves before, it is apparently a retelling of The Goose Girl, which I can definitely see now that someone has told me that. It wasn't quite so evident when I read the book. I just knew I loved it. And so now we have moved on to Painted Devils by Margaret Owen. Little Thieves is a retelling of The Goose Girl, as I mentioned, and that story, or at least the story of Little Thieves, is following the maidservant in that particular folklore, fairy tale, whatever you want to call it. And she is the daughter of Death and Fortune. Where we find Fanya in the story where we start, she has assumed the princess's identity and is trying to earn enough money that she can leave the country because her godmothers, literal godmothers, have given her an ultimatum, and that is that she has to choose to serve one of them. Key point we missed was that she was given over to Death and Fortune when she was like 4, which I didn't realize the first time I read it. I didn't do a very close reading, apparently. I didn't realize her mom 100% went out with her, expecting to just leave her in a forest to die. This is not a spoiler. This is just the beginning of the book. I missed that part when I was reading it. She's like, oh! I didn't realize I was going to meet the low gods when I brought my daughter out into this forest. But hi! She fully knew she was potentially going to have a dead child or leave a child to die. It's going to be very interesting considering that part of the plot of book 2 is Fanya trying to find her birth family. She's trying to escape her godmothers. She is stealing a whole bunch of money because she needs money to do so. And they end up calling in the prefects, which are basically detectives, and this junior prefect named Emmerich kind of makes her life living hell, but also makes her life better, and they really like each other, and they don't want to admit it because they're both demi babies, and I love it. It's amazing, and it's the best thing. It's one of the best things I've ever read. The way that Margaret Owen is able, like, there is a thing that happens at the end, and all I'm going to say is wedding regalia. So if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. But, like, there's just, like, this small, weird, stupid detail that you're like, oh, it's just to show that this character is, like, huh. And then it ends up being important to certain things that go down at the end of the book, and I'm just like, her mind! I am about 43 pages into this, something like that. There has been kissing, thank God. Honestly, there is the perfect amount of kissing in the first book. I don't even think I went for very long feeling like there needed to be kissing in that book because just the tension between the two of them is just so good. The second book, it is her and Emmerich, and she has accidentally woken up a god by accidentally starting a cult. She literally tripped and started a cult. I am so excited with where this is going, with what's going to be happening, but I'm also very tired. So I probably should go to bed here in a minute because it's after midnight and I'm tired. Alright, update done. I'm going to bed. Hello, I figured I'd check in with you guys. It is Tuesday at this point. I made dinner last night. Well, I made dinner tonight too, but it was leftovers. I made dinner last night since my mom's out of town, and the recipe I was doing made enough for 2 people, so I figured I might as well let my dad eat as well. So we didn't get a lot of reading done yesterday. I love this book so much. Oh my god. This is... I love it. It is so good. We just got, like, you know how people will talk about how the miscommunication trope gets misused, and it's like if these people would just sit down and have a conversation. Our main characters do that. Like, they'll have a misunderstanding or someone will be upset and they'll have a fight, and then a few chapters later they're like, okay, so we need to come back, we need to be adult. And it's just... it is adorable. It's really, really interesting to see how self-aware Fanya is of just how traumatized she was by her mom leaving her, by being raised by Death and Fortune, by them trying to get her to choose one of them, by the von Fallbergs. It's so interesting to see and see her aware that like she is a lot of work to be in a relationship with, and then to have Emmerich being like just so soft and sweet, and like he has his own feelings. He gets upset too. She says shit that hurts him. He does shit that hurts her. But at the end of the day, like, he understands how like just messed up she is emotionally, internally, like how everything that's happened for the last 17 years for her. He understands that he's like the first person that's ever been like, hey, like, I will help you. I will take care with nothing in return. And so he just has this beautiful, like, patience where he'll be like, okay, we need to talk about this. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way. Did you ever think that maybe some of that is actually you in your head? Which it was a funny conversation because Vanya's like, yeah, I know. Like, Little Thieves definitely had a different feel as a book because that was like a heist novel. This one is a little bit more of, I don't know if I'd say a mystery, but like almost not quite a journey book, but like it's a lot less contained than Little Thieves was, because for Little Thieves most of the action takes place in Minkia, and then here we are like, we've already been one place, and like I was assuming that like most of what was going to happen in the small town that she starts the cult in. In this one, at least, we're traveling, and so it's almost like a Dungeons and Dragons quest, where like you start in one spot, you do some stuff in the one spot, you travel to the next spot, you do some stuff in the next spot, and then they're going to be traveling, like they're on this kind of quest to find 7 brothers, so that they don't, I wonder if that's a retelling of anything, because 7 brothers is a very fairy tale thing. Now I need to figure this out, but like they're trying to find 7 brothers so they can keep Emmerich from ending up a human sacrifice. Have you ever accidentally started a cult and gotten your boyfriend chosen to be the human sacrifice by a goddess? I have a feeling I know how that is going to end. Just have a feeling that I know what like they're doing all of this to not have him have to do what's going to happen. But I have a feeling we're going to get a lot closer to that because there was a fight mentioned. You don't necessarily have to die as the human sacrifice, but it's not very likely that you're gonna live. I have had a few more moments in this one where I've been like, Fanya, you're about to make a very dumb, I can't read anymore. I just like have to put it down, because she's definitely like, there is a level of control that I think Fanya has in the first book that she doesn't, because she is very much out of her depth in this book. Especially considering that she is trying very hard to be open and vulnerable, and so she makes some choice decisions. She makes some choice decisions in that, and they're not always decisions that they just lead to a lot of secondhand embarrassment. Anyways, I am folding laundry once again. Because someone thought they'd done the laundry with their work uniform in it on Sunday, or before Sunday, when they did their other laundry, that they get the dog hair off of the laundry, but they did not. Apparently, the get the dog hair off of the laundry was a full load in and of itself. I'm gonna go back to reading once I'm gonna watch some TV while I fold the clothes, and then I'm gonna go back to reading, because I'm absolutely adoring this book. This is just like, these books were written for me, it feels like. It really does feel like they were written for me, and I love them. Hello, we have updates. I'm currently 264 pages into Painted Devils, and it's just really hard for me to like get a lot of reading done during the week, because there are so many other things that like I need to do when I get home. So it's like I'm going 30 minutes at a time every day. That's just, and I'm not like, especially this week, the stuff that I was working on wasn't stuff I could listen to an audiobook for. I'm having so much fun with this. It is like, so we've got this like, we've got this whole situation where there are two side-by-side plots that are going on right now. And one of them is Emmerich and Vanya trying to solve this mystery or solve this problem that they have run into thanks to this goddess that has chosen Emmerich as her sacrifice. And then the other one is Vanya and Emmerich having to navigate the fact that this is their first real relationship and the first person that they have ever been turned on by. There are some moments that are just... The secondhand embarrassment is real, and I'm just like, I need a minute to get through this scene. And they're adorable, but also, like, I just need a minute to get through this scene. Anyways, it's funny. We've got two very horny teenagers who are not used to being horny, and it's like, watching them navigate that is very, very funny. They're both kind of awkward, and also Vanya has, like, so much baggage. Like, so much baggage when it comes to her own view of herself that affects her relationship with everyone. She is so patient with her, and I love it. And I just, like, healing the inner child is what's happening for her right now. It's her inner child is being healed by someone being like, no, all of these things that you were told or that happened to you and they're wrong and they shouldn't have happened. And I get it, Vanya, I get it. Just the way that Margaret Owen is handling the amount of trauma that Vanya was in or went through as a child from the time she was like 6 until she was like, I think 16 or so, when she took over Giselle's life in the book, first book. And so the way that she's just navigating this, like the way it's not automatically fixed because she's in a relationship and she's having to like she's aware of how it affects her, but still not able to, like she needs to hear from people the confirmation of what she already knows. There's a part of her that knows that, like, how she was treated as a kid and, like, what they were telling her, their lies, that, like it was all done out of cruelty and all this stuff, but it's still, because it was done to her so young, she still believes it. And so she needs people to validate the internal voice in her that says, this isn't right, that wasn't right, that's not true. And I'm just really enjoying watching that happen with her. Especially since, like, it's not something that was really covered in the first book because there wasn't time for that. I am so ready to see where the next book goes. I'm gonna have to wait. I don't like that. I'm gonna have to wait. I really hope I don't have to wait till 2025. Also, look at these cuties. Look at them. Can you see them? They're adorable. I got this print when I pre-ordered, or not, I did a special order of this one for, she was doing something with small bookstores. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm finished reading these books. I hope I will get to where I need to be. Okay, listen, I did not think, I can't even tell you what I'm about to talk about because it is a major spoiler, but for those of you that have read the book, I just got to the end of chapter 20, and you know, when I came up with the theory that just got confirmed, like, I thought that was, like, I was like, there's no way it's that easy. This book, y'all, I have not made a lot of progress in the time part of this reading challenge. We're on the 3rd weekend. So maybe it'll be finished today, maybe it won't. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with this information now. I'm gonna need, like, I don't know, 7 business days to process this. I can't. Oh my god, I finished Painted Devils, and, I'm not okay. And it's not for the reason that you would think I'd be not okay, because most people would be not okay because it ended the way that it did. But see, I've read this story before. I know this story. This is Batman and Catwoman, and unlike with Batman and Catwoman, this is a novel where people are allowed to learn and grow and change, and by the end of the story they're a different person than they were at the beginning, and they don't regress back to the character they were 20 years ago because we have to keep the fans happy. That's not why I'm not okay. I know everything's going to be okay. I know everything is going to be fine, but I have to wait. I have to wait for everything to be fine. Also, I finished my 24-hour challenge. It only took 3 weeks. I don't know that you can fail a challenge to just, like, let's see how long it takes me to do this thing, but we're gonna have a do-over at some point. we're just gonna do a do-over. You see the small child screaming behind me in the GIF? That's my emotional state right now. I want to be best friends with Margaret Owen. Like, I want to be her favorite reader. Her mind, the level, like, you talk about Easter eggs, the way things kept coming back from book 1. Like, you can tell this woman had a plan when she wrote book 1, and she knew what was going to happen in books 2 and 3 if it got to be a series. And you can see all of the pieces in that. And I, like, the way the book ended, we are headed for the final boss. We started out with one person, and she was a little mini boss, and we bonded with the mini boss because she wasn't actually terrible. And then we had the boss in this particular book, and this boss, this was the original boss. This was the boss that is the reason our character, this is the boss that's the reason for our character's tragic backstory. And then the boss going into this is the thing, what has to happen for the character to move on, because this is the boss that they didn't know was the boss that's coming back and is going to bite them in the ass, because they thought they dealt with that problem, but it turns out that problem is a bigger problem than they thought it was going to be. Do I sound unhinged? I feel unhinged right now, guys. I just I'm fine. I'm just gonna stare off into the distance until I have thoughts again. I'm gonna, that was such a good book. Like, just, oh, okay. So, let's, my eyes are watering. Seriously. Oh, God. Oh. Am I crying? Is it allergies? No one knows, including myself. Hello. If you couldn't tell from the drastic change in lighting, it's a little bit later in the day. I love this series. I didn't quite tab it as thoroughly as I tabbed this one, because this one I have read. It's a reread. But this one was new, and so there were multiple points in here where you can just kind of see where I was just like, yeah, we're just reading this baby. I need therapy. Definitely. That's not new. This expanded so well on the dynamics and the characters that are the center of Little Thieves, which is Vanya and Emmerich. And the way that they, there's so many good themes in here. There's so much, there's like a lot of, especially, trigger warnings for this, because she does put it at the beginning of this one as well. She's like, if you're okay in Little Thieves, you're probably going to be okay in this one, but just know, parental abandonment is a huge issue here, and, abusing minors, and and, dealing with Vanya's effed up backstory, all of that stuff. Read the trigger warnings at the beginning of the book before picking the book up. The main theme of this book is how much, in my opinion, how the things we are told when we are small about ourselves kind of define us. So one of the journal parenting TikToks that I watched was talking about the fact that she's very careful about how she talks to her daughter, because her daughter's inner voice is going to develop from how she talks to her. This could be a treatise on that TikTok, because Vanya's inner voice, all of her insecurities, all of these things that she is dealing with, they trace back to things that happened to her when she was little. And then because that happened, her life up until the point that we meet her in the first book, all of those moments seem to reinforce that lesson she learned at 4 years old. So well done, and so well handled, and so well tackled, and there's this amazing kind of balancing act that we see Vanya struggling with, because she knows her worth. She knows how people should treat her. But when it comes to people she loves, she does not feel worthy. And just watching her have to work through that and tackle that and all of those things, just wonderful. This is a good one if you want to see someone, and it's not complete, because this is book 2, but this doesn't even, what is middle book syndrome in this? This is its own thing. My God, this does not suffer from middle book syndrome, not in my opinion. If you want to see someone have to confront their trauma and also have people deliberately and not so deliberately contradicting the lessons they learned when they were young. This is a fantastic book. So this series is a very interesting twist on the found family tropes because of things. And you'll see, like, the family she ends up with. I'm just gonna let you guys read it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for book 3 because there are some people, like, she underestimates this boy's faith in her so much. Like, he so thoroughly understands because, like, his entire job is paying attention to people and he wants to get to, like, the root. He'd be a very good therapist. He wants to get to the root of why people behave the way they do. They're a cab except for Emmerich Conrad. That's all I can say about this boy. That's like he is Bruce Wayne and Tim Drake and Dick Grayson all in one with all their little, like, crime-solving thingy things that goes on in there. He's all of them. He's all of them mentally. And so he has spent so much time studying people, and that really pays off because he understands, I think, like, someone who did not have the patience or understanding that Emmerich has, like, she lucked out because I don't know that anyone else would be able to actually, like, be in a relationship with Fanya without absolutely feeding into her trauma. And it wouldn't be their fault because they'd be reacting in certain ways, but the way that Emmerich just kind of, like, it doesn't mean he doesn't not get upset and doesn't not get hurt by things, but he also understands why, based off of what he's seen of her in the first book. Like, he comprehends that so well. There's so much about sex and sexuality and consent and that's slightly spoilery, so I won't say that, but, like, there's a lot of conversations that kind of circle those topics and how it's different for everyone, especially it's encircled in the kind of realm of demisexuality and how our brains work. This is gonna destroy Rachel. Like, this book is going to actually physically destroy Rachel. Just so good. Oh my god. I just like the character dynamics, the banter, the fact that they're able to be both serious and silly in this relationship. Like, they have these fun, like, lighthearted moments, but they're also able to, like, like you can tell Emmerich knows what family is supposed to be, and so he's like, okay, I'm gonna give that to Fanya. However, on the other hand, Fanya has to be willing to accept it, and so, like, all of the things. I love this. This is so good. Like, are you going? Can anyone top this book for me this year? Like, there's no way. It's not. It's possible. It's definitely possible. It's only June, but like I didn't think I was gonna find Little Thieves last year, and love it as much as I did. But oh my god, it just got better. 5 stars. 5 stars. No notes. I have nothing else to say about this book that I can say because everything else is going to be spoilerful or unintelligible. Because I'm like it's either gonna be a spoiler or I can't, like, no thoughts that will make sense to anyone who is not me. Just please go read this series. Someone, please, like, people, please read this series and then come talk to me about this because I am sitting here by myself in pain, distraught, and I have no one to talk to about this series because everyone that I know that read the first book has not read this book yet. I feel like I should message Rachel and just say, like, hey, I need all of your thoughts as you read Painted Devils because I am in a drought here. I'm just a drought. I am a normal person. This is a totally normal way to react to people. People react to books like this all the time. Go read this book. Just go read the book. Go read the book. I can't believe I was right. I cannot believe, like, the most random crack theory of, oh, this would be really funny if. And I was right. I was right. Hi. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. If you want more of my unhinged ramblings, here's the vlog where I first read the first book for the very first time. It's a lot less unhinged. There are more hinges in this vlog. That's it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye.